Chestnuts roasting on an open fire, Jack Frost nipping at your nose. The Yuletide carols being sung by a choir, and folks dressed up like Eskimos. Hi, welcome to Waxingthecarrot. My name is Sean Levine, and today's carrot is Climate Wars by Gwyn Dyer. He's a military historian. I'll give you a quick spoiler summary of this most excellent book. Copenhagen is very disappointing, just really in on that one. We're headed for a big smackdown with reality. And the main reason is climate change is going to have a drastic effect on food production and therefore supply and therefore population that can be sustained on the earth. And I guess that's one of the things that's missing from the climate change debate. And Gwyn Dyer brings this up in his book in several ways. Food will be under attack in many ways. One, I guess, is that we've optimized our food production over 11,000 years of wonderful civilization to be optimized on the best growing land where it rains well and we've got nice sunshine. Well, that's changing with climate change. We won't be in that optimum zone anymore. That optimum zone may be gone. The Australians have learned that the optimum zone has been gone for like 8 years in their 8-year drought, which they think is the norm now. So we're going to lose food production there. So food supply, food go down. Then there's also fertilization, where we take the flower from the plant, or we don't take it. The flower from the plant turns into seed, which we eat, which we've always celebrated with some kind of harvest celebration. And, that's basis of our civilization is surpluses, lots of food. If you go outside optimal ranges in temperature for fertilization, you will get reduced yield. So a yield will go down. So that's another reason that food supply will be decreasing. The other thing is desertification. That doesn't mean everyone turns into a dessert, as tasty as that sounds. No, deserts expanding. So the thing is called Hadley cells, which is cold, dry air coming down from the equator gain more energy as the climate heats up, and therefore the deserts expand. And the deserts are right next to what we call the bread basket. The bread basket, where we grow the bread. The croissant twisty things we like so much. And we're going to wipe those off the face of the earth, because as the deserts encroach upon those, they will get rid of that bread we like so much, which would be wheat, corn, rice, mainly where we get our calories from. And that's around the globe. The Hadley cells around the globe in a belt of deserts, of growing deserts. So that's another food go down. Now the other thing is they talk about the ice melting in the Arctic, and it's scary. There's 10 million, I think it's square kilometers up there. There's about 10 million square kilometers in the United States of America, without the continent, anyway. And we're down to about 5 in the summertime, when we're typically down to about 7. And it's going down to like 4. So we're losing a lot. Means sea level is going to rise. Not to mention we've lost our huge free reflector from the sun, which kind of moderates the temperature too. But as sea level rises, it will flood all the lowland areas where we produce a lot of food. So places like in Asia will have salt water in their rice marshes and will lose food again. So I expect world grain markets to collapse. That means even if you're rich, you can't buy what no one will sell. So it's kind of a downside. So that's another effect on climate change. Going to go right in the toilet. The other thing is a lot of agricultures depend on irrigation. And irrigation is one of those things that glaciers, snowpacks, that kind of stuff. Colorado mountains, water comes down and we get fruit and veg from California. Or in the case of China, India, water comes down from glaciers and they get growing for India and China, most of their food. Temperature rises a couple of degrees, which we're probably in for. You're going to see those glaciers melt. Right now they're losing them at 7% a year in China. And those glaciers will be gone in like 20 years. So, no more floods, no more water to irrigate the crops in the summertime when you need the water. And as a result, decreased food production. It's hard to negotiate with someone when they're starving and they have nuclear weapons. They don't want to stop talking and hand me the bran muffin, is basically the way that conversation goes. And you're like, Just sign this and don't stab me, and maybe we can get this on. So there will become a breaking point where large countries like China, India, United States, Europe have problems feeding their populations and be less amenable to negotiating a treaty. So there you go.